Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Privacy Edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch the recording of these live and participate in the discussion. Before we dive on in, I have some affiliates I want to talk about. The first is private internet access. If you are one of the people that does need a VPN for either getting around geo regions, geo restrictions, or maybe use Wi-Fi in coffee shops, or you have other reasons to protect your internet search history online, things like that. VPNs can help with that, and I have an affiliate link for private internet access. So you can use my link there, tlm.li/PIA, and you can get $40 for an entire year of access. This is a good service. It works very well. And you can actually connect up to, I think, 10 devices now. They bumped it up to like 10 simultaneous devices on their service. Well, blocks ads, does a lot of other nice things there as well. So let's go ahead and dive on into the news, shall we? First up, Google updates their Google Maps to have information about COVID and infection rates, and they'll tell you if a mask is required in your local region. I could probably do without this, but, you know, I mean, look at this. Recommended route, but then they might also give you a pop-up. So, public transport services are suspended. Oh, no! Yeah, so if you're using Google Maps to get around, particularly in strange places, then, yeah, your Google Maps will now tell you, it'll now tell you if the area is too crowded, if they're requiring masks. Ooh, look at this modified schedule to maintain social distancing, things like this. Yay to the new normal, always telling us to keep as far away from each other as possible so our immune systems can completely die and turn into fragileness. Interesting. All right, next is Amazon. So we have two companies here. It didn't take the privacy advocates. It took protesters and rioters in the streets actually breaking the law. Now they're going, oh, we don't want to actually support helping people find out who's who over here, who's rioting and looting and destroying things and stealing stuff. So two companies actually suspended facial recognition. One of these being Amazon. They had this controversial recognition program. They're defending it against all these different situations. They're selling it to police, they're selling it to ICE, they're selling it to all these people. All of a sudden, we have protests rioting throughout the streets, and there's a difference between the peaceful protests and the rioters in the streets, but they are both happening in some places. And Amazon has now decided that they're going to do a 1-year moratorium on police ability to use recognition. So if you're a police station, sorry, you can't use recognition anymore. It's about time that some of these facial recognition systems leave. Now, they're saying a 1 year because they want to work with Congress to pass a law about what can and what cannot happen with facial ID. IBM just said, screw this, we're not doing it anymore at all. And so they simply said they'll no longer offer, develop, or research facial recognition technology. And the IBM CEO says we should reevaluate selling the technology to law enforcement. Yet again, finally something in all this crazy madness I can get behind. Banning facial ID. Hey, I've been telling you that on this channel for a long time that needs to happen. If I knew it would take rioters in the streets looting places, I might have taken up a crowbar myself a while ago. But I digress. All right. So they're talking here about their principles of trust and transparency, which actually, I mean, this is like a 3-4 year old system. And they kind of just now came to the conclusion that facial ID and not really disclosing what they're doing with facial ID actually is a violation of their own terms that they wrote 3 years ago. So they didn't say, hey, 1 year moratorium while the Congress works on an act. They just said, screw it, we're done. It'll be interesting. Maybe they're just creating a separate, I don't know. IBM's doing some interesting things. Maybe they've been on the wrong side of what's going on with this before and they just don't want to get back there again. Germany. Anyway, excuse me. Something about mid-last century German soldiers came to mind. Dropbox wants to release an invite-only password management app. So Dropbox now wants to get into password management apps. Before you jump on into this, remember this, people. Dropbox does not have end-to-end encryption. They have encryption to go from your server to their server, but whatever's on their server, they have the access and the keys to. Now, you could encrypt stuff on your computer and send that file up to Dropbox. That would be reasonably safe, but I'd be very leery about putting any passwords on Dropbox because it's not end-to-end encrypted. I mean, on top of that, I don't think passwords go on any cloud services anyway. Nevertheless, Dropbox is producing a new password management tool so that you can save all of your passwords in Dropbox. Also, don't forget they have had some security breaches and some vulnerabilities in the past, making this probably not a good system to look at. But of course, Mozilla wants to export your saved password lists in plain text. Now, before you think, holy crap, have they lost their ever-loving entire mind? Before you think that, that's not entirely true. The purpose for doing this is for them to kind of say, hey, you should probably be using a password manager. This will allow you to export the passwords in a simple file that you can more easily import into your password manager. That's why they're doing it. However, on the downside, here is a web browser perpetually connected to the internet that has a lot of code available outline on the internet that is storing all of these passwords, which you shouldn't do anyway. I'm just too concerned that somebody's going to figure out a backdoor into this and be like, hey, we're going to export the passwords right to this URL instead of the computer, or something goofy like that. I can see them actually doing something like this. And so to me, this gives me a little bit of a concern with what's going on. But nevertheless, if you are already storing things in Firefox, you're like, this is really a bad idea. You can take that password list, export it out to a plain text file so you can properly import it into an offline, preferably, password manager, and then that is going to enable you to go in and delete the passwords from Firefox, so you're using a password manager rather than a web browser. And that would be a better way. So, hey, maybe this is an okay thing. Maybe it's just a transitional to say, hey guys, get your passwords off here, but I don't see them killing that option anytime soon. But anyway, whatever that happens to be worth. I've always told you guys to avoid these online health apps. Well, a health app admits that an app suffered a data breach. And what was happening, now, first and foremost, guys, I gotta tell you something. If you are developing an app for like health, please do not use the name of the biblical city representing sin, death, and corruption in your app's name. The Babylon Health app? What fool wants to give their data to Babylon? My lands, people. My lands. But anyway, and if you're not familiar with all the religious-y type stuff, yeah, Babylon would be the name of the evil city of man, okay? Corrupt and evil and bad and wicked and destructive and nasty and having to do with the New World Order and the mark of the beast and stuff like this. I don't know. But anyway, for those using the Babylon Health app, the Babylon Health app suffers a data breach, allowing people not only to get in there, but you can actually just manipulate a few things and log on into the app and you'll get somebody else's private call transcript right on your device. Isn't that awesome? Like the previous guy that called in chatted with the doctor and then you're getting their stuff. Oh, So anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think indeed? Let me know. And on to our feature story tonight. Google does indeed know your voice. Now all Google Assistant devices will be able to tell who's talking to them. So this is part of the assistants, whether, whatever the various Google things happen to be that are out there in the system, they were slowly adding the ability to have different profiles and different people. And now their voice ID is enough that they can identify whom you are speaking with when it comes to individual person. So you don't have to go in and set the profiles or announce who you are. You just go in and talk to it. It automatically knows who you are and stores all that information directly in your account. And then what ends up happening here is that now Google has all this information and your voice prints and all this kind of stuff as well. Kind of a little creepy to me. I'm not really interested in Google having this much information. And if you're using these Google Home appliances, it's probably not a good thing. So voice match and default speaker selection features to all Google Assistant compliant devices, they announced on Thursday. Google product manager, is it Praveen Chandran? My apologies. Wrote in the blog post that the additions are part of the company's efforts to, quote, support an open ecosystem and bring Google Assistant features to everyone globally. No, Google, I don't want you to bring your crap to me. I really don't. This to me is more creepy, and this will be your monthly reminder to go online and watch The Selfish Ledger again. Please watch The Selfish Ledger again, people. Go watch that. So if you're unfamiliar with The Selfish Ledger, this was an internal Google document that leaked out, which basically was their master plan for creating a Borg. Yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. So go and have a look at that. So let me know your thoughts on this article and the other articles in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and give me some likes or some dislikes down there in the comments as well. Thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.